Welcome. I'm Joe Tussey, the General Manager at Beckley Mining Complex. We are deeply committed to safe practices and safe workplaces. Your safety is very important to us. Whether you're an employee, a contractor, a business partner, or a visitor, we want to ensure that you return home safely at the end of the day. The purpose of this video is to educate you on the potential exposure to risk you may encounter and the measures necessary to mitigate these risks while you are on site. Today's training will be valid for 12 months for the Beckley complex you're visiting today. Annual retraining is required. If you're a frequent visitor, more comprehensive training may be necessary. After the video, your instructor may inform you of other hazards specific to the site you're visiting. Please listen carefully to the video and be sure to address any questions you may have with your local facilitator before entering the work zone.
ACI Beckley Mining Complex is fully committed to ensuring our operation remains drug and alcohol-free. As a result, possession, use of, or being impaired by drugs or alcohol is strictly prohibited at our operation. Personal protective equipment. It is your responsibility to wear all personal protective equipment required by law or company safety policy. Our operation requires the use of hard hats, safety glasses, and protective footwear. You are also required to wear snug-fitting clothing. You will need to blouse your trousers near your ankles or place your pant legs inside your boots. This practice will help prevent your pants from being caught by equipment. If the conditions you encounter dictate, you may be required to wear hearing protection, safety glasses, face shields, respirators, gloves, or other specialized safety equipment. Your instructor will inform you of the requirements at our operation. When riding in a man trip, observing a roof bolter in operation, or in other areas where the work could produce potential flying objects, such as striking metal with a hammer, you must always wear your safety glasses. If you drive on mine property, always wear your seat belt. In addition, observe all warning and speed limit signs. If you encounter mobile equipment or coal trucks while driving to your destination, always yield the right of way to larger equipment. All surface mining equipment has backup alarms. They sound like this. If you hear a backup alarm, pay special attention. Mine equipment is very large, and at times the operator's view may be obstructed. Park only in designated areas, and leave adequate clearance for other vehicles and mine equipment. Always attempt to park in a level area, and be aware that some special parking areas or loading zones may require you to chock your wheels. While on mine property, you are not permitted to operate any equipment unless specifically authorized by management. In addition, you must be properly task-trained by a company official prior to operating a piece of equipment. If you visit a preparation plant, tipple, repair shop, or similar area, be alert to overhead cranes. Avoid areas where cranes are actively in use, and never walk under a suspended load. Material handling areas in mines have conveyor systems with belts and rollers. Make sure you are wearing tight-fitting clothing in these areas. Always stay clear of moving machinery, such as belts, rollers, and conveyors. If you visit areas where welding and cutting is underway, shield your eyes and never look directly at the work when welding is being performed. Always wear protective eyewear when you are in an area where such work is being performed. Use caution when walking through shops and maintenance areas. Be alert to slippery floors and avoid tripping hazards. If you are required to load or unload materials during your visit, use proper lifting techniques. If necessary, get help lifting heavy or bulky items. Stay out of posted areas. Warning signs are installed for your safety. Never venture into unfamiliar areas alone. You should always be accompanied by a company employee or be working under the direction of someone from the mine. Always observe no smoking signs. Smoking is only permitted on the surface in designated areas. Our operation uses a computer-based material safety data sheet management system for hazardous chemicals at this site. Ask your instructor if you need to obtain an MSDS. It is your responsibility to inform us of any hazardous chemicals you or your company may have brought onto the mine site. If you have any questions during your visit, feel free to ask the company person escorting you. Immediately report any incident that may occur to management. For those visitors going underground, you are required to take additional training on the precautions involved in underground mining. Have a safe day. Going underground. Prior to going underground, you must check in. You must also check out when arriving back on the surface. The person taking you underground will explain the procedures to check you in and out of the mine. Everyone underground must be accounted for. Smoking materials, including matches, lighters, cigarettes, and cigars, are not permitted underground. In addition, cameras, cell phones, and other electronic devices are prohibited underground unless specifically approved by the mine management. As you begin your trip underground, remember to always stay within sight and sound of the person accompanying you. Also, remember to wear your eye and ear protection while on the man trip. Keep all body parts inside the man trip, and never attempt to mount or dismount the ride while it is in motion. Coal miners refer to the mine roof as the top. They call the sides of a mine entry the ribs. While underground, constantly monitor the top and ribs. The potential for injury from a roof fall or rib roll exists at all times in an underground mine. The roof you travel under has been supported in accordance with the approved roof control plan. It is considered safe, but you must always be alert to a potential failure. As a general rule, it's a safe practice to walk and stand in the middle of the entry as much as possible. If you are with a tour group, please stay together and follow the leader's instructions. In face areas where coal is mined, unsupported roof will be marked with reflectors. These markers indicate that the roof is not yet supported. Never travel beyond the reflectors. Never travel beyond supported roof. Mobile equipment is used in almost every aspect of the underground mining process. Always be alert for scoops, shuttle cars, and other mobile equipment in all underground areas, particularly near the working faces. Be aware that equipment operators may have limited visibility. Also, be careful not to shine your light in their eyes. Continuous mining systems at Beckley Mining Complex consist of a continuous miner, shuttle cars, roof bolting machines, scoops, and a feeder. We operate 3 sections that are all similarly configured. Drive-through curtains are used to maintain ventilation in the faces. Equipment such as scoops and shuttle cars is required to pass through these curtains to get to the face area. Be alert to mining equipment when you pass through a ventilation curtain. After you have passed through the curtain, make sure it is back in place. Always be alert for moving equipment and trailing cables. Never walk alongside a piece of moving equipment, and stay clear of trailing cables. The mine floor, also called the bottom, may be uneven. There may be coal or loose rock in the walkway. Walk cautiously and observe the bottom ahead of you. Always be alert for changes in the walkway. If you travel around an underground belt conveyor, a tailpiece, or a feeder, always be aware of your footing. There may be loose coal in these areas. Proceed cautiously to avoid tripping or falling into the conveyor. Cross over or under the conveyor belt only at designated crossing areas. Unless you are properly task-trained and specifically authorized by a management official, never touch electrical power sources. In addition, you should not attempt to operate any equipment. Performing electrical and other work in an underground mine requires special training. The Beckley Pocahontas mine has 2 designated escapeways. The primary escapeway is in the intake air course and is marked with green reflectors and signs which will direct you to the intake shaft where you access the mine via the elevator. The secondary escapeway is the main travelway that runs throughout the mine in the neutral air course. It will be marked with yellow reflectors and signs and will also lead to a mine opening. The company official conducting the training will explain the lifeline and reflector standards as well as the escapeway locations in this mine. Personnel doors, which are known as man doors, lead to the escapeways. Their locations are also marked on the lifelines with reflectors and signs. They are located in the adjacent air splits of the intake escapeway. If you go through a man door, be sure to close it tightly behind you. At first sign of a mine fire or an explosion, put on your self-contained self-rescuer device. The Beckley Mining Complex uses Osenko self-contained self-rescuers, commonly referred to as SCSRs. Your instructor will review the requirements, plans, and procedures for putting on the appropriate SCSR while at the Beckley Mining Complex.
At Arch Coal Beckley Mining Complex, safety is a core value. All employees share a common goal of safety excellence at every level of the company. We're proud to say that our company-wide safety performance has led the coal industry, and many other industries for that matter, for many years. We hope that gives you peace of mind as you visit our site today. All Arch operations have a high standard of safety excellence. It is your responsibility to help us help you by following all safety requirements. The local facilitator will now review additional safety information that applies to the specific operation you're visiting. Listen carefully and be sure to address any questions you may have before entering the work zone. Thank you for visiting our operation. Please have a safe, enjoyable visit.
Mine emergencies such as fires or explosions can occur at any time underground, requiring the donning of a self-contained self-rescuer, or SCSR. In such an emergency where either an oxygen-deficient or toxic atmosphere exists, your successful escape will depend on knowing how to properly put on the Osenko M20. The M20 is an approved 10-minute self-contained breathing apparatus that will instantly provide you breathable air, protecting you from the surrounding environment. The Osenko M20 is belt-worn and can be donned in less than 10 seconds. In a few simple steps, the M20 can be donned and your escape can begin. To begin donning the unit, move the M20 away from the belt and place your thumb or a finger under the yellow lever. Lift the lever on the latch and discard the latch and cover. Remove the M20 by pulling the yellow neck strap or mouthpiece upward. The oxygen flow will begin automatically when the unit is removed from its base. Place the yellow neck strap over your head. Next, put the mouthpiece into your mouth. Fit the yellow nose clip, inhale through your mouth, and begin your escape. Remember, your successful escape depends on you knowing how to properly don the Osenko M20. Again, the steps for putting on the unit are as follows. Step 1. Lift the yellow lever and discard cover. Step 2. Remove the unit by pulling neck strap upward. Step 3. Insert yellow mouthpiece. Step 4. Fit yellow nose clip. Step 5. Inhale through your mouth and escape. After you start your escape, you may adjust the yellow neck strap. After donning the M20, you can begin your escape traveling to a man trip or storage cache for longer duration SCSRs, such as an Osenko EBA 6.5. When making the transfer to a new unit, it is important to keep your lungs isolated from the mine atmosphere. Studies have shown the carbon monoxide concentrations following a methane or dust explosion and in certain types of mine fires are so high that one breath can incapacitate a person, and the second or third breath can render a minor unconscious, possibly resulting in death. Upon arriving at the SCSR storage cache or man trip, remove an EBA 6.5 and check the gauge to ensure there is adequate oxygen for donning. Even a unit that is not fully charged can be worn, but the wearer should know the unit's duration will be shortened. After checking the gauge, move to a flat surface and drop to your knees, shining your cap light on the EBA. While performing the following steps to open and activate the Osenco EBA 6.5, do not remove the mouthpiece or nosepiece for the M20. This is not done until ready to don the EBA 6.5. If you experience difficulty in remembering the steps to donning an EBA 6.5, the instructions are located on the bottom cover of the unit's case. Now you can begin the donning procedure by opening the case. Pull the latch pin. Lift and remove the D-rings. Remove the closure bands. Grab the straps and separate the case halves. Turn the on-off valve counterclockwise to start the oxygen, leaving the mouthpiece plug in place. Note, the oxygen will begin to slowly inflate the breathing bag. These steps completed, you are ready to make the transfer from the M20 to the EBA 6.5. Remove the yellow neck strap and loop the EBA neck strap over your head. Inhale deeply from the M20 and remove the mouthpiece and nose clip, then discard the unit. Lift the EBA mouthpiece to your mouth, removing the mouthpiece plug from the mouthpiece. Quickly insert mouthpiece and put on nose clip and exhale into the mouthpiece of the unit. Remove the goggles from the Osenco's oxygen cylinder valve. Adjust the neck strap so the unit rests comfortably on your chest. Put on goggles. Buckle the waist strap and tighten it for a snug fit. And retrieve hard hat. Purge breathing bag by wrapping arms across bag and deflating bag with your arms. Bag will refill with oxygen, and you can now resume your escape. It may be necessary to replace the EBA 6.5 with a second EBA unit. The transition from one EBA to a second EBA is as follows. After removing an EBA 6.5 from a storage cache, walk to a flat surface, get down on your hands and knees. Make no changes to the SCSR you're wearing. Place the second Osenco on the mine floor. Remove your hard hat and place it on the floor to light the transition area. Remove the pin and D-rings and bands to separate the case halves of the second Osenco, just like you opened the first. Open the second Osenco's oxygen cylinder valve completely, 5 to 6 half turns, keeping the mouthpiece plug in the mouthpiece. Unhook the waist strap from the unit you're wearing. While supporting the unit, push down on the plastic tab on the neck strap to lengthen the strap on your old or first EBA. Do not remove the mouthpiece or nose clip. Remove the neck strap from the first EBA and loop the strap from the second Osenco around your neck. Inhale deeply from the first EBA. Remove the mouthpiece from the first EBA. Extend the breathing hoses from the second EBA, removing the mouthpiece plug, and quickly place the mouthpiece in your mouth. Pull the nose clip off your nose. Do not breathe through your nose, and quickly replace it with the nose clip from the second Osenco. Exhale into the second EBA and begin breathing normally from your mouth. Shorten the neck strap by pulling the end of the strap straight up. Purge the second unit's breathing bag. To purge the breathing bag, exhale into the EBA, thereby inflating the breathing bag. Hold your breath and press or compress the breathing bag to force the air through the relief valve on the back of the breathing bag. Resume breathing normally through your mouth. Buckle the waist strap and tighten it for a snug fit. This may be easier to do when standing. And continue your escape. If your first unit, EBA 6.5, still has significant oxygen, keep wearing it to limit the number of SCSR exchanges. Remove the second EBA from the storage cache, bringing it with you in case it's needed prior to reaching outside, or the next cache of SCSRs. Don the second unit when the gauge needle approaches or is in the red zone. Even though you have replaced your original EBA with a second, you may not want to discard the first unit if the gauge still registers oxygen. Turn the on-off valve clockwise to shut off the flow of oxygen and carry the unit as you continue your escape. The donning and transfer procedures described in this video are intended to help you make a successful escape. Watching this video, however, will not ensure this success. Practice in the donning and transfer is essential to being prepared if an emergency does occur and you must evacuate the mine.